Place these
planted seeds inside
right
me.
now. Please leave a message after the tone.
Made me swell like a balloon.
Yeah, it's amazing how it grew just from having trust in the process, really, from Chronicle to sort of. I mean, I got most sort of into the little sessions where we just discussed what possibilities there could be, you know, and anything could come in the mix, and we'd really take it on and give it all a fair shot. Any music ideas, any kind of stories within any ideas within context to the story.
Yeah, that's right. We even would take just words or phrases of something that we felt related to in our own experience and jam musically with that, the rhythm of that. And you remember those sessions where just dragging our own history up and putting it on a plate and seeing how it could tie in.
We're going to sample the synthesizer, and then it was like kind of electronica. And then you were like, I'm getting a gadget. Do you remember? And then you were like, I've got electronic drum kit. And it's like, wow, we're going to do this electronic. Let's go 80s.
And it was your suggestion also to go to the 80s because we had a situation where if this woman was alive now, going through this, then she would be able to stalk her husband in all manner of ways. And so the deceit worked really well in the 80s because all she had was an old rotary phone and didn't understand how to use the computer.
You've got to talk to me and tell me what's going on.
Don't keep calling the office, okay? I've got to go into a meeting now. I've got to go. You have to stop calling me. I'm at
No,
work.
you can't just hang up on me like that, Jason.
So that was an exciting idea to suddenly go, right, here we are. We've arrived with a style of music and with an era.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, the script was feeling like it was going to be about a celebrity or something very fantastical. And as we chipped away at the story, it became more and more mundane. It was like the excitement was in this very mundane world of a housewife, but overlaid with this godly epicness of a gig that was starting to sound like Pink Floyd's stadium concert. And it's like, this is really exciting.
Yeah.
I listen for the sound of your key in the door.
There's a big difference between live music and theatre and the kind of culture around gigging and playing in a live band. Whereas that's the crossover here is, you know, we are playing as a band and with all our equipment as a band and all the songs we've written as a band, and we're connecting that to theatre.
Well, also, because in theatre, even if you have musicians on stage, normally they're up there in the wings and you never see them anyway, and it's a complete separation of unions and all the rest of it. But not only are we on stage, but you're also, it's a one-woman show, but you're playing synthesizers and we're rocking out. It's a gig.
Yeah.
It's an actual gig. So if you come to see the show, you're seeing theatre and a gig, or a gig and a theatre. That's the massive
And we
difference
didn't
of it.
know actually
It's
at the
equal.
beginning when we started showing it whether it was more gig than theatre or more theatre than gig, and we were really surprised, even though if you look at the set it is just a gig.
It looks like a gig,
but actually all the audience were like, no, this is a theatre show.
Totally.
I need to sit down to watch this.
Yeah.
We began the sound design by recording the actors in the studio. That was the starting point, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was all done over the course of a couple of days, and had every character do a read-through as if it was sort of a radio show, with you guiding them and then repeating the kids repeating their lines and the adults kind of going through the full dialogue with you. And then breaking that down into every single line to get timings just right.
Okay, that's enough. Shtum, not another word, okay? Love you both very much. Close your eyes, go to sleep. Good night.
Some characters that were in there that no longer exist,
Yeah.
and some people that had like one line that's turned into an entire scene.
Yeah.
So it's kind of developed nicely over the last year or so.
Man.
It's been the challenge using a blank stage, essentially, and making the space work for you to act looking towards these characters that don't exist, so the placement where they are according to the audience perspective and how that relates to the sound design, like you say. So if you are starting in the middle of the room and you're walking to the stage side, stage right, you then have to have the footsteps of the other characters following you across and finding their way into the scene.
Through the dark. Through the dark.
Yeah, we tried with projection. We tried to have characters seen and heard, and then everyone kind of decided that didn't work because they like to make their own mental image. It's much more surreal, and it's much more stage present.
Yeah.
Because you as an actor are there in place of having a physical phone.
Yeah, and so the microphone is kind of in place of all props.
It is your kind of one master prop.
Yeah.
That would be a door handle, or it would be a car horn, or it would be a phone, or it would be whatever else in between that you need it to be. You can always hear it, but you don't have to see it.
My husband has just left me.
Mr. East claims that you received treatment for postnatal depression. Is that correct?
That was years ago. I just had a baby. I was tired. Yes, the doctor gave me antidepressants, but I didn't even take
Because
them.
of course, I'm not making any allegations myself.
I know.
I just have to go through this list.
I understand.
It also states here that you aren't allowing him access to the house or the children. Is that correct?
Well, yes, but he was the one who left.
Things that you would otherwise hear quite clearly and properly at the beginning of the show are a little bit distorted and a little bit more dreamy and crazy, and you travel with the characters as they kind of go through this dark path. Everything starts to get a bit dissonant, and with the musicians joining in as well, it really builds that atmosphere and gives you a nice change in mood.
No!